was in the early 40s when I came to St. Louis.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Me and Miss Keaton and we went to Scruggs Memorial. Miss Keaton, the lady was over the school. That's who Miss Malone would be with.
Is this an example of one of your graduation pictures?
Yeah. Yeah, this is my cousin, and that's me. Me and my cousin.
Right there.
Yeah. And this lady, she used to sing. Her daddy was the pastor of the Baptist church down.
Is this the background in Scruggs Memorial?
Yeah.
Tell me about this particular item. This one says it's the 27th annual Couture Review.
And this is Anna Malone.
Okay.
And this is Miss Keaton. She was president of the missionary at Scruggs, and then she was the teacher over Poro College.
Okay. And I see here this is a program from your graduation, and your graduation was in 1959.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And this was on Cook.
But I knew them all of the parties, you know, in the 50s, because I worked at Jewish high school.
And what I think is absolutely beautiful.
The school was across the street for a while, for a few years. That's when I started going to the school. It was right across the street next to that store. And
from the church?
I used to drop Mrs. The teacher off on my way home. Everybody being left believing, and I would drop her off from Banner. And she lived over there by the park. She would get the bus there.
And this is a picture of you at graduation.
And that's my first cousin.
And that's your
She
first
was about
cousin.
to graduate and she had a stroke.
So she never graduated.
And she did. She passed away that summer. And that's one of the students.
That's wonderful.
And her daddy was a minister of the church down on Banner.
The one that was in the picture.
She thought that she was going to be crown queen, but I beat her.
Aha, that's the one. Okay. I remember you told me that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Lots of advertisements from other beauticians. That's what these are. From different places in the city of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And this was inside. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. This is the graduation invitation. I think I get more excited than I should sometimes.
I keep all that junk done. Yeah.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's an invitation from the graduation.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that is beautiful. It says the late Miss Annie M. Malone, founder. That's something. That is something. Because Annie Malone died in 1957. So that is correct. That is something.
See, Anna Malone, when she would come to the graduation it was at my church. Yeah. Every year they graduated, they have it at the Scruggs Memorial.
That is just precious.
And Mrs. Keaton, she was over the missionary. That's where she had passed just before I went to school.
So let's see what other things you have. I do have this picture. I'd love for you to tell me about this meeting.
Oh, that was one night they had a little affair for the graduate. You know, these were some of the students, and I had been somewhere, and I went by there. They were later students. You know.
The Poro School of Beauty Culture. That's beautiful. Tell me about that.
Well, that was my building, my shop.
Yes.
After I went into, hairdressing.
Tell me how many years you worked at Jewish?
13 years.
13 years. And then you left, why?
Why I left? Well, Jewish didn't pay no money much. He was a very, all that work I did, and I was a special person. They didn't pay me no money much. And my sister-in-law asked me, she wanted to go into, beauty culture had got real popular then, And so I left on kind of her, and then when she went and graduated before I did, her husband didn't want her to work in it at night. And so I went in and opened a shop by myself.
All right.
And cause she had asked me cause she had went ahead of me and got her degree in beauty culture, but she got pregnant and then she went back to work in the hospital, whereas, she used to work, and didn't go into beauty culture. So I went on into beauty culture. And over my own shop, I had a shop on Lee and Natural Bridge, Lee and Newstead. And when the white guy moved, the man that bought the tavern said that he was going to put a place back there where he, put clothes dryers and all that. Mm-hmm. But it didn't pass inspection. So I had moved up on Nance Bridge then, because my husband told me, well, a few months he gonna use this place, so you might well to not repair it all up, Mm-hmm. And so that's when I moved up on Nance Bridge, and I stayed up there about 15 years, and then I sold it to another lady.
All right.
When my husband retired, he retired from the telephone company. He was the first black guy that worked for cable. And when he retired, he said the man told him he could just come to work and run around, But he didn't want to, so I retired, because he wanted me to hang with him,
I wonder, can you tell me a little bit about an occasion when you met Annie Malone?
Well, when I met Annie Malone, it was at the church.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
You see, Annie Malone and Mrs. Key, she was the one that would bring Annie Malone there.
Okay.
But she would come down to the church, and we would fix dinners, and because they would have this big graduation. Mm-hmm. And, we all being together, but just with her personal, because Mrs. Keaton, this lady that would bring Annie Malone there, I used to drop her off on her way to home, when I would leave school.
Okay.
I had just started driving. See, I was young then,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But just, Annie Malone, she was an older lady. And she'd just be talking to all of us, And I would fix her plate of food, but see, she was only could be in St. Louis 2 days.
Right. She couldn't stay.
She could not stay. And that's when I thought you might have known.
I don't know
why
that.
She could not, but that's what they would tell us. She could only be, if she stayed in St. Louis during the week, she would get arrested. I don't know whether the police or the city or what, but she could not be in St. Louis, during the work hour of police,
Yeah, just on the weekends, and that was it. Saturday. Tell me about this one. I think this is quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me.
That's your license from the state of Missouri.
Yeah, that's right.
Was this your last one, or just one of them that you had? This says 1995.
Well, this is a later one, Let me see here.
And that's very nice how that says Edna Smith right down at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
That's a special framing.
That's just the frame, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. It's
yeah.
valid through September 30,
Oh yeah, that's
1995.
Last ones that I got. I'm surprised I'm living long as I am. We was, kept going,
That's the beautiful thing. I think that's what makes it work. Is there something in this book you'd like to share?
Well, these just some books from my traveling. Now this is when I went to Germany. I was a world traveler. I used to, of course, with the airlines, they used to give me a tip. I would get people for the airlines, and this is one of the trips here that when I went to Germany.
Okay. Did you ever see the shipping office at the Poro College? Or any of the offices there?
That's right. I used to I have lived right there. We lived on Market Street. We used to go there. It seemed like that's where the theater was.
That's right. The Amethyst Theater.
Before I got married.
All right.
Mm-hmm. That's where I lived when I first came to St. Louis.
All these were different rooms in the Poro College that were designed for.
And they used to have a parade every year.
Absolutely.
And food all up and down the street. You could buy food, That was the neighborhood.
Tell me about, if you can remember, what was the day like in class when you went to classes at Poro College?
I tell you, when I left my job and went and signed up to, I was going to go about 11 o'clock. And do you know, when the second week I was there, I had to open the school up. I had the key to the front door.
To Poro College?
Poro College. And
when did you open it? What time?
And I had to be there at 9 o'clock. And the teacher didn't get there till 11. Because, see, she was there through the evening tonight. And she gave me the key to open up. And I had to make 5.
Oh, my.
I had to make 5. Sometime I would have 2 or 3 customers coming. If you came in early, you would get a break on your head. You didn't pay full price. So sometimes it'd be 2 or 3 people come in, and there were 2 guys that went to school. They wouldn't come in till like 10 o'clock and 11. When she came in at 11, so one time she came in, she said, "Well, I tell you one thing. If nobody gets the degree, Edna gonna get hers." Because I done got there, open up, and shampoo a couple people. I be doing one's hair and another one waiting, because they'll get their hair done, if they would come in at school.
Yes.
Cheap.
So did you have to pay a fee to have your to have a booth there or to work there in the college?
No,
Nothing
you
like
didn't
that?
get a dime.
No.
You didn't get a dime. That went to the school.
Okay. You got the knowledge and they got the money.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
No, you didn't get no pay. But you got learning. It was a couple girls that were working in beauty shops, did not get their degree, and I got mine.
Okay.
I don't know whether because on weekends they wouldn't come in. On Fridays and Saturdays they would not show up at the school, but they would show up first of the week. They was trying to get their degree because then, at that time, they was closing the shops if you didn't have license.
Okay, that's the thing I wanted to know about. So in the late 50s, early 60s is when the state of Missouri started requiring a beauty license?
That's right.
Okay. And prior to that, they didn't require that.
Well, you're supposed to have it, but you could get by without it, you know. You're supposed to have a license if you got a real shop, you know. But a lot of them worked in shops and didn't have no license.
Okay.
If you worked in the beauty shop, you're supposed to have license, period.
Okay. You've lived a long time, and I wonder what it means to you to have Barack Obama to be the President of the United States.
Well, I didn't worry about it. I figured he could be as well so as anybody else. What was wrong with him? Because at least I don't think he had a white mama. And if he hadn't had a white mama, they probably wouldn't have let him get as far as he did. Mm. You know?
Mm-hmm. Did you ever think there would be a African American president?
No, I didn't think he would. I really did. Because I tell you, you all grew up when things got better. If you had to grow up when I was like I did, you wouldn't have thought it would ever be one. Because, you see, and then I grew up in the South.
Where did you grow up?
In Mississippi. But I had uncles that went north. I had uncles that the daddy was white. On both sides, I'm just telling you. On my daddy's side, his daddy was white. On my mother's side, her daddy's daddy was white. Some of them boys, I can show you their pictures, when they went north, they got jobs in post office where white folks got. When their wives went down there to pick up their checks, they got fired. Mm-hmm. And put them down in the basement cleaning, because they find out that they was had black wives, pictures they write, and then my mother's brothers and things. And my grandfather, I knew him, he lived to get 85. He was red-headed. He looked more whiter than a lot of them white men in the South did. And he lived right around the corner. But my daddy's daddy, I didn't know him. But he left there when the horses was popular. There was very few cars. And when I was little, honey, you didn't see, if you saw a car, you just saw maybe one or two cars in a community. It wasn't no cars like it is now.
Mm-hmm. Every driveway has a car.
That's right. You saw horses and buggies.
Horses and buggies the whole way.
Honey, them ladies had beautiful horses and beautiful buggies when I was little.
Okay.
And you could go north. Honey, if you couldn't pass for white, you know, you in trouble. You're in trouble. How white people would treat our people. And they were dating the women. But the women better not be dating on black men like they are now. They'll get killed. I know a boy got killed. They threw him in the streets because the man he worked for let him drive his wife and children to different things because he was over the place where they did lumber company. And he'd be tired. He'd go to bed at night, but he hired this black guy to care his wife, because white women didn't drive then. Somebody killed that boy. He was just 19 years old. Throw him on the street. Hi. See, you all don't know nothing. My brothers used to say, you all don't know nothing. If you had lived then, you would have known. It wouldn't been no other way. But you wasn't born then. See.
Where in Mississippi was this?
In Lexington, Mississippi, about 60 miles north of Jackson. See, they didn't build shopping centers and all like that.
So the town is.
Town is almost to it.
There is one question about the Poro College. I don't know if you ever heard that there were some movies that Annie Malone used to show to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of any of the Poro movies, moving pictures?
Well, I've heard of a Poro for years, you know, but and I heard more about it when Miss Keaton was, you know, was living.
Did any were any of those movies shown at Scruggs Memorial?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And I didn't go a lot at night. I just wasn't really a night person to go to a lot. Just like now, they having stuff at night. You know, I guess I had other things to do. I had several ladies that was older ladies, and when you get through doing for all these people that, you know, can't do for themselves, it's certain things you just miss out on. And they were depending on me to do it, and I was only one person. I couldn't be two places at the same time.
I understand that one.
But see, Anna Malone was, she had got kind of old at the time when I was growing up. The most time I would see her at that time is when she came here on weekend. I would see her.
I remember you said she wasn't a loud person.
No, so she, you know, she had got older, you know. She, I guess, you know, she always was to say a busy lady, you know, when she was younger. And I guess she had, back then, you know.
Enough of all that moving.
Mm-hmm.
If there anything you remember about going to school or about Annie Malone that is real big in your memory?
And she opened the thing about St. Louis. She went out to Barnes Hospital to see somebody, and she had to go in the basement. And she wondered why this person was in the basement. Nobody black could go upstairs at Barnes Hospital. And she opened the first room, what you call it?
In the big hospital.
Yeah, in Barnes Hospital.
Did she have a maternity ward there?
Yeah, she opened the first one, the floor. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
She opened the first floor for black people to go in Barnes Hospital.
Okay.
Anna Malone. Nobody else did it, but Anna Malone opened the first floor for black people to come out of the basement at Barnes Hospital.
That's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful.
And I wonder, was that the reason Anna Malone had to stay out of St. Louis? Because she told them that they had to open a place at Barnes Hospital to get the black people out of the basement.
All right. I don't know. That's one place to start looking.
Mm-hmm.
I did
my daddy was when he first came here and he got sick, he had to go in the basement, but he was on the first floor. They had some, you could just see the top from the basement outside, but you still was kind of down in there. But that window, you could look out.
Do you remember places in St. Louis where you were restricted to go during the time you were here? You said you came to St. Louis in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember places you could go and places you could not go?
Do you know what? I could go anywhere. They tried to, I don't know what they was trying to do. But at that time, I had long red hair. This ain't none of the hair. And they was trying to, I don't know whether they was trying to switch me or what they were trying to do. The cafes I worked in, at first, it was in the back. In the next cafe, I worked in the front. And the white people coming there, they wanted me to wait on. More so than a lot of the white girls. If they would say, can I help you? Well, I ain't quite ready right now. And then when I get available, and so I said one day, what they doing, trying to work me to death? You know. So white men would offer to take me out when they wouldn't offer to take the white girls out.
Mm.
You know, but I wouldn't go out with none of them because I wasn't going to try to hide to go, go out with a white man. And then white men would see me with black men and come out the theater and then they do this. They didn't want me with the black men. Now who was I going to be with? So I tell you, my life was this, I just had to make a decision myself what I wanted, And I have been in the car with my husband, and some white people saw me in the car with Sam. They called the police.
Mm. Wow. Yeah.
Police stopped him, and then Sam says, my wife. And that happened. We was on our way to, I tell you, my niece was going to the college out in Jefferson City. She said, ain't in a ride with me out there and get in the car with Sam. When you get out there, I'll go in the rest stop and you can get in the car with him. She did that. And when I got in the car with Sam from the rest stop, the police stopped him. Mm. And these white folks had told them, well, that lady wasn't in the car with him. Some white folks called the police because I was in the car with my husband from the rest stop. We was going on to Poro.
So that was a problem that you all had often.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Tell me something about the state board. I think you mentioned that when you went to the state board, there are specific things you had to bring. Tell me about that.
You had to carry somebody else to work on them for the lady to come by. You could have not been what she did, all she did was come by and check you off and went on, But, they didn't really see whether you could do hair or not.
Why is that, you think?
Well, they told us there would be somebody there to inspect us. But I guess that's the way they made their money. But we had to pay,
Were the instructions that you got any different for young black girls or young white girls?
Well, you didn't have black and white in there together at that time.
Where did you stay when you went to Jefferson City?
Where did I stay?
Where did you stay? Because it was overnight, wasn't it?
We stayed in the hotel. We stayed in the hotel.
Did the state licensing office give you information about where you could stay, or whether you had to find it on your own?
All you had to do is be there for that that meeting to get your license. You had to go to the state board for that, you know.
And that was where?
Jefferson City.
Jefferson City. Okay.
All you had to do is be there at 8:30 that morning. They didn't care how you got there. And whether you came overnight or whether you stayed overnight, all you had to do is sign in the state building.
Okay. Okay. Did you feel a sense of pride because you graduated from Poro College?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about that.
Oh, that's the best step. The best step I made.
Graduating?
Graduating from Poro College and leaving Jewish Hospital.
Tell me too, when you think about Poro College and what it meant to St. Louis, what could you say about that?
Well, so far as I know, it meant a whole lot, you know, because I advanced in life and I met a nice man and got married, and he was the first black man to work for cable. And that was a good thing.
And you think that happened because of all the training you got from Poro College?
A lot of it did.
That's wonderful.
Because when I left and went to Poro College, that was when I advanced.
All right.
I met a lot of people, and I tend to do a lot of traveling. I almost traveled all over the world, and I could work so long and then go.